Hey everyone, thanks for coming by. Today, we're going to take a behind-the-scenes look at how I build sounds using analog synthesis. In front of us, we've got the KORG Minilogue, one of my favorite hardware synths. We're going to take a sneak peek on how I shape sound from the ground up using an analog synthesizer. Let's go. All right, so now I've moved over to my workstation. Analog synthesis is a deep rabbit hole, and it's impossible to cover all of the knowledge in a single video. So we're going to focus on the basics and how the sound relates to the theory. Now, at the heart of analog synthesis is the oscillator. This produces a raw sound wave in a predetermined character or timbre that the user chooses. And on this particular synth, we actually have the option of starting with a saw wave, a triangle wave, or a square wave. So you can think of it like the building blocks of various instruments. Also of note, on the KORG Minilogue, there are actually two oscillators. The effect is you can add in a second oscillator with its own shape and its own octave that it might be running at to achieve a number of different sound characteristics. That's one oscillator, and when we bring in the second, you can hear there's a little more body, and depending on what octave we set that at, again, you can have a different feel. An important aspect of sound synthesis is the use of filters to remove parts of the sound in order to help create very specific characteristics. Now, in the case of the KORG Minilogue, we've got what's known as a low-pass filter. And what that means is the low parts of a frequency are able to pass through, and the high ends of the frequency are attenuated or subtracted. I'll show you an example. Now you can see there's a lot of room to be expressive within that world. Often found close to your filter is a resonance knob. And resonance is essentially a boost on a particular frequency. As an example, without, with. Again, the characteristic changes, almost takes the tone of a human voice. All right, next we're going to talk about the envelope of the sound, which is essentially the characteristics of a sound over time. So this is displayed here under the amp section, and we can control the attack, the decay, the sustain, and the release of a sound. If I slow my attack, you can see an easing into the sound. Decay refers to what happens after I strike the note. When my decay is super short, you can't even hear it. But as I bring up the decay, you can hear it. Now, sustain refers to the amplitude of the sound over time. With a longer sustain, it can hang up into infinity. And as long as I hold this sound will never end. Release refers to the tail end of a sound. So what happens after I let go of a key? Short release, it's immediately off after letting go. As I bring that up, you'll notice the sound having a bit of a tail. Now just remember, like many other creative practices, it's in the combination of these techniques that you're able to accomplish more complex ideas and achieve higher levels of expression. Until next time.